Hey there, Aries. This is Joy with Joy the World here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button, ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy of the World, give us that big thumbs up, like, share with your friends and family. Help us get this Joy to the World message out here. It's about making our world bold, bright, and beautiful because of you. We want you to be your best self, and therefore we take an intuitive peek into those energies to take the blinders of ignorance off, or the old days and the old ways of having seen things, or even stuff that we never even knew, and begin to jive and vibe into who we are and what our truth is, in order to usurp and overtake reality so that we're living in our truth, living in our beauty, living in our full vibration, and celebrating a life that has come to full color. I'm excited about it. How about you? And for those of you who've given donations, thank you so much. I mean, it's like Christmas here. I've got two new decks that have come in. This is the Vice Versa Tarot because, looky here, it shows you two perspectives of one card. Fantastic. I love it. Who doesn't want to know both sides of it, right? Now the rest of the story and the Tarot de la Nuit. So it gets into some contrast, because we could call it shadows or dark or whatever else, but it's those things that allow, like the bass drum, it carries the rhythm, the tune, the beat, and it really helps bring, lift, and exalt everything else that we're going through. So all that being said, you guys are hitting and popping. You were talking about wanting to be able to get out into the sun and go have some fun. And you kept showing it over and over and over again as I was shuffling and clearing and preparing the decks to get ready for our read here. And under it was like this unspoken request, this question of wanting to know how to step into your beautiful manifestation of your life and your purpose. You mean you're not wanting to have to just keep schlepping away in order to make a little money to live another day. You have this uprising surgence of, I know the sun is Leo, but you like, sun is us too. Mars is very solar. It's very fiery, very passionate. That radiance, that warmth, it can bring about a lot of growth and determination. And you're wanting to know, how do you harness that? How do you facilitate that into the channel of who you are, the star? Okay. See the darkness back behind you? How do you do it to bring life, bring the world in, to bring it into the 4D, into the now, into the heaven on earth? Okay? And the answer to the question starts here. So we have a few out that we're going to go and take a closer look at and examine them. And then we're going to get a little bit of assistance in as how to flesh it out, to percolate your energy, to stir up some of your spiritual cellular composition of who you really are, both remembered and maybe not even addressed yet, to get you into that flow. Because when we're in our true flow, everything is working together. To everything we dream or desire, we begin to navigate into the perfect wheel of time, and that we get to have our full satisfaction. This is what came in at the center. Okay? We've got imagine, and I know it could be like, oh, hokey. Okay, whatever. You know, y'all live in a purposeful heart. So you're just like, well, that's old news. That's what's up. Of course I'm imagining. How do I make it real? How do I make it real? And that has a crowning card. It's a little bent. It's funny that this one is bent because it's the ant. Work, achievement, success. But what it's focusing on here is that ant. It goes back and it uses this as food. It uses it as shelter. So how do you provide for yourself in a new way? Okay, so we're going to find out, first of all, where you were at. This is the 10 of discs. Oh my God, I love this card in this deck. Look at that. Let me get it closer. You see that goat riding up on that black steed? Oh my gosh, it's so nuts. There's a whole lot going on there. It's like a black Pegasus, but you can't tell, are the wings on the goat or the wings on the horse. And that goat has it by the throat. Not even reins. It's like, you gotta go. I want you to go. You're going to do this how I want you to do it. It's a lot of like very tactile, hands-on, kind of controlling and manipulating energy of like forcing, making, doing. Like the one who goes, well, I don't have all the pegs to this set, so I'm going to make this round peg fit in that hole because I want it to go there. That's what I want right there. But the thing is, it's not. You have a lot of Mars energy, which needs to be expended, or else it will be it will do you in. It'll be your undoing, okay? Man, I'm just getting tension right here, just even thinking about it. So whoever is dealing with that, I am talking to you. You're the one, because that just came out of nowhere. But here, there's a tremendous amount of wisdom from the extremes that you have gone to, because this goat showing up is very Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn is not a mountain goat. Capricorn is a sea goat when it resonates with me. That's all I can talk about, is it can go to the deepest depths of the Marianas Trench, to the highest heights on earth. So it has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, and a wealth of application, being an earth sign. But here it's talking about these dark days, this thing. But that's more of a mental concept and a construct that I see going on here, because there is a submerged and hidden tree of life. Like, there are magical things about you in your mind, the musings, the imaginings that you've had, but they're underneath you. You're not riding on them, you're trampling them. You're dragging them along by the throat. Okay, and you're not facilitating it and using your power in a way that is cooperative, that does facilitate. Because remember, you were asking me about the facilitation of your Mars, okay, which with Mars going retrograde September 9th, I think that's going to soften the energy some, so that these ideas won't just have the cloud of smoke rising up with it, and in the turbulence type going energy, it'll have clarity. It'll be kind of like all the little sparkles of light coming off a sparkler, like, ooh, ah, that's the energy that we're calling up for you guys. Ooh, ah, that type of thing. So do return to that energy of imagination, to the oohs and ahs, of not just having to schlep away. And that's what you're saying. You're like, schlepping away to get the bills paid. You're like, I want my dreams to come in. I want to enjoy life. I want to travel. I want to have some finer things. And it's not just to have finer things. You're talking about things that don't have to be tied together or rewired or held on or taped in. You're like wanting the luxury of being able to renew not just yourself but the world around you as well, so that it doesn't have to keep facilitating the increase of your Martian energy. Because that's the thing, is if things stay in that state of disrepair or temporary repair, it creates some friction. Remember, it creates that volatility, which only sparks up Mars even more and requires more physical labor, more physical output. So I could see why you're asking this, because that creates a bit of a quandary. But yeah, I got some double up Mars. Talk about interesting. It's in Taurus, less than a degree from my moon, and therefore it's been slowed down enough that I could pick up the details. And maybe we'll get to find out a little bit about it here through your query, okay? But that's the thing, is there's so much experience that you've had, that there's like this big bang, like almost what formed our universe coming about, this cosmic eruption of realizing that you've held it all along, that it is just, it is wise, and it is your finest outfit to be able to have that sparkler mindset, to be able to get into the beauty of Mars. It's almost like they're talking about your Venusian Mars. How do we get some Venusian Mars up in here? Combine the two, the cooling effects of Venus and the warming effects of Mars, to get that mighty balance. Okay, you're talking about thermostat, a regulator. Okay, so no longer being the thermometer. The thermometer, remember that, okay, I'm cheating. There's your sun, kind of some of that Mars, but this sun right here is talking about your Mars, because you're wanting to get to the sun. But things being in that slight disrepair, temporary repair, just kept increasing the Mars. They're like, let the Venusian come in, so that you can begin to appreciate what you have, that you can be the thermostat as opposed to the thermometer. The thermometer can only be subject to whatever environment it's in. That's what it relegates to, the thermometer. If it's 98 degrees, it says 98 degrees. Right now, it would say hot degrees up in my house, because I still ain't got no air conditioner. And they're expecting at least another week till the unit even comes in. So I'm having a little bit of this Mars experience from every angle, and the swimming pool is broke too. So I haven't even thought about that till just now. They're trying to provoke me to tell a little bit more about myself, and I'm trying to get okay with that, because I am Capricorn sun. So anyways, getting to where you have more of that sparkler Mars, that's Venus marrying Mars. And you talk about the perfect marriage, divine communication, the potential marrying along and coming alongside the actual. It's being able to deal with things and handle them as they come, anywhere from difficulty to inspiration. because difficulty is only difficulty if it can't be addressed, right? Or if we don't know how to address it, or we don't have the resources to address it. Okay, I gotta pause. Okay, y'all, I am back. So I'm telling you how crazy that it's like Christmas here, because if y'all give in to me, and contributions of all sizes come together, they make me able to bring in more decks. And I'm telling you, when you feed into my life, it is allowing me to feed into our wisdom, our increase, and our knowledge. So I took that moment break to go ahead and shuffle them up and get them ready, because the fact that they showed up during your read is the answer to your question. And the card that shot out, like it fell totally to the floor, was repletion. This to be abundantly full, abundantly supplied. How crazy is that you guys asked about? And they're like, imagine this. Imagine how it is going to come to be and be possible. You're letting me know it has a synergistic effect, because that's a unique thing. As people feed into my life for showing up here doing these readings, and as y'all's contributions come in together, your donations to the channel, which it's in the description box down below, as y'all begin to feed into joy to the world, we're feeding our joy into the world, and it's showing up in things like this, y'all, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So I'll stop, since they're asking me to share more about who I am. So I'm a Capricorn sun, remember, and my birthday is January 3rd. So it is right after everybody is so done from celebrating. They've been through Halloween, they've been through Thanksgiving, they've been through Christmas and traveling here and there and wherever. They have even celebrated New Year's, and they're usually fagged out, worn out, put out like an old smoky cigarette butt, like in the ashtray, done. They burn it all. It's all used up. So by the time my birthday rolled around, I noticed that sometimes friends couldn't show up because their parents wouldn't bring them, or that people were just tired and lackadaisical and didn't come. And I thought, well, I'm all perky, I'm all sunny, I'm here having a good old time. Where is everybody? I'm ready to have fun, to enjoy this life that we're given, right? And to celebrate it together. And after a handful of years of that happening, I decided as a little girl, I might have been around 5 or 6, somebody had invited me to this little church, and they did a Christmas Eve service, but it was so tiny they did it outside around the tree, and the tree had lights on it, and everybody lit each other's candle and passed the light around. We're holding our little candles and singing these Christmas songs around the tree, and the last song they sang was Joy to the World. And I decided at that moment that that was my birthday song, and that they were singing to me, and then that moment, that was my birthday, because we're all going to blow our candles out when we were through. So life is how you see it. Life is how you celebrate it. And I decided that Joy to the World was my birthday song. Never knew that life was going to push me on out into a lens before other people to share our energy together. Okay, because y'all, I'm just the microphone. These messages, I am the microphone, is your energy flying through into me, and I get to receive it and joyfully experience it and process it, and show it through my perspective out to you guys. So when we do this together, this synergy, it comes forth. Somebody had to create this deck. Y'all gave into my channel. I got to buy the deck. Now your energy's flowing through me. I'm getting to shuffle it. The postman knocks, leaves the package during this reading, and then we get to add it to the reading that was already in process. Wow. Talk about mind-blowing, beyond all we could think or imagine. And that's why we'll get greater than we could think or imagine, because it's all these components of us coming together. And that's what fills us up. That's what fills us up, supplies us up to overflowing into the abundance. And that's how we're truly called to give. It's not out of our poverty, but out of our abundance. But so many of you who are here, you have given out of your poverty, and you've shown your true colors of life and love and belief and acceptance and appreciation, and forward thinking and forward moving and caring about others and all that. But because there was that state of disrepair, there wasn't the abundance or the overflow yet on all facets. We're talking about here prosperity on all facets, also the protection on all facets. Those two are flip sides of the same coin. That created that like overarching energy to keep feeding back into Mars and making it overproductive, hyper Mars, okay? Hyper is when something's overproductive. And so we're being called to Venusian, tame it, right? To bring it down to the sparkler energy. Remember, you light your sparkler and you write your name with it, and it's all about celebrating. So we celebrate together. We celebrate who we are. So start by celebrating who you are. Who you are is fantastic. It's not what's been around you and what's been happening. That's not what you get. That's not what you deserve. That's not what you've earned. It's not life showing you all that you'll ever be. And you don't have to say this big manifesto, this big mindset of calling out all these proclamations of who you are. I feel like they're really telling you to stop and take a moment and begin to breathe. Allow the gift of life, the breath of life, to begin to enter your lungs, and allow, okay, a secret up here, the new soul song of the earth. The air energy has finally reached the air waves, and a new song has begun. This is the moon, right? But it's the reflection of our sun. It has begun to come in and enter the minds of humanity, enter the heart of humanity, and it's begun to adjust and adapt the vibration of the earth, which is a good thing because it's been out of balance for some time. It's off by like 0.14. So anyways, as we begin to level up and take that blinder of ignorance off and begin to admit these things to ourselves, like you're like, I want to be prosperous and abundant. I want to be prosperous and protected. Protected means that roof over your head. Bills paid, all that covered, no worries. And not that we need to keep worrying, working on the element of worry, but it's leveling up into the truth of who we are so that we shine, that those worries are already taken care of. It's already handled because you are in your flow and you're connected into life, and it's not hyper-arcing your Mars, okay? It's allowing the Venus to operate as well, and some of you, that's second house. So knowing about that tree of life, that you hold the power in your hands, in your mind, in your imagination, and to begin to tell yourself that you're beautiful, that you're lovely, that you're talented, that you're strong, and look at what your talents are. Look at what you're good at. Look at what you bring to the table. I mean, when you go to a potluck and you're taking something, you don't think about the 8 million dishes that you can't cook, that you suck at, that you don't like, that you're not going to bring. No, that's like overarching that Mars, right? So instead you look at, oh, I love this. I'm going to bring this. I always like it, or so-and-so always likes it when I bring this. Well, I'm really good at that, really quick at that, or I have the resources for that. Boom, 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 boom. That's what you're talking about. That's this tree of life. That's the imaginings. That's the mindset that you have here, is focusing on your life, your living, your value, your contribution, your being, your amness, who you are, okay? And what you set up for. Because that's your magic, okay? And that's showing us here in the High Priestess. You're full of seeds of life. If you could see what you're made of, like I can see what you're made of, if you could hear the magnificence that seeps off of your breath, like the encouragement and the authenticity that you show when you speak and you show up for a friend or a community or a lover or a stranger even, the way you step toe to line, you step to the table, you come up, and you're like, I'll figure it out as we go. I'll figure it out as we go. But that's that thing. Life is going to give you that full cycle, that balance of Venus coming along with your Mars so that it sparkles and shines, and it brings up the bubbles of joy along the way that you're able to give out of your overflow and abundance. And they're saying, stop, collaborate, and listen. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead on this side and get the Divine Animal Oracle for that collaboration. What do we need to listen to? And there's Mars. I don't know if you can see it, but in the top corner of that card, can you see there's Mars there? So when it fell out to the floor, the only card it did, I was like, oh! And I looked up repletion. I'm like, oh! Perfect 10 coming in. Show us their perfect 10 coming on in. Show, Aries. Look at this. Magic maker, magic bringer. Do you know your magic? Not the movings, the makings of what you make magic. Do you know that your amness, your energy field, your presence, your kinetic energy, remember that sparkler that you bring? You are magic. Not only that, you contain the seeds of magic. You contain like all the volumes of knowledge, very Metatron energy going on here, which is the workings of doing like waves versus particles. Sandalphon's very particles. We'll see if Sandalphon shows up because they're partners, they're cohorts. But yes, Sandalphon's like, I'm over here in the darkness, I'm the stars, I'm the sparkle, that thing inside the catalyst that brings it about. Okay. He is often a hidden energy. But that's that thing. See, on the bull, there's a whole lot that's hidden. And that's your action, your activity, your quickness to move forward. So they're talking about meditate in your mind just a little bit. Let things marinate. Let them come on through. Do a little bit of mulling. To me, that's very Two of Pentacles. It's mulling. It's letting things that are very practical, very tangible, like that spark, that catalyst that you're wanting to go on, which is that sandalphon energy that he's talking about that creates, it's like the sparkler itself, but when it's lit, that's very much the Metatron coming out, the action to go forth, the formula, vice versa, flip that, scratch that, flip that. Being able to bring it out into form and into being and light it up. So instead of just lighting it up, wherever you're at in that moment and allowing it to take you over and possess you, they're wanting you to possess yourself, to be into your knowing, they're doing this, like to take a seat in yourself, to get on your throne, because what you don't know, your throne got holy wheels, chariots of fire, doom, 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 doom. Them wheels are lit and you burning, baby, but you're seated on your throne. You're taking in that formula and that knowledge and the workings in the matrix. Okay. Very reiteration to the High Priestess energy. That fullness of your mind, that scope of your mind, let the full picture come. Not always we're going to step into this and figure it out as we go, because that's what you're letting me know is the you working in your depletion as opposed to your abundance. Give it a minute and allow it to gestate. Let it to percolate. 7 hours, 7 days, a week is a really good time to come full circle on anything when you move through all the days or all the gods of the week, right? You got the moon on Monday, you got the sun on Sunday, you got Saturn on Saturday. You're letting yourself move through a full cycle of energy to be able to see every facet of it. And then you've exalted it, you've uplifted that energy, and you've taken a raw stone and you've faceted it so that the your perspective, your light can move through and illuminate what is contained within. Okay, interesting. Interesting. All right. So let's step over here to see where you're going. And you're talking about the sun because you're like, I want to step into the sun. I want to be the sun. I want to, wherever your sun is placed in your chart. Because anybody who shows up here, you could be showing up for whatever reason. This reading is for you. Because like I say, we are all the zodiacs. We are the whole symphony, right? We're all the strings on the guitar. And this sun, you're wanting to be able to get into your solarness, into your knowledge, into your self-acceptance, into your exuberance, and this mastery of self. And that isn't like that dominion mastery, like taking it by the throat, forcing, making, doing, going. No, it's really the harmonics, the symphony of understanding the workings of self, understanding this high priestess energy and how it wants to connect and work through you and with you, not just you working for them. You didn't come to be a puppet. They're here to join with you in this divine dance, in this divine energy. And you're saying, what energy is that? So let's get here. We're going to peek. We're going to look and find out. I see the city there. It's a whole township. Why do they say township? It's a whole township. It's like Six of Swords when it moves forward, going to that new. You're taking others with you. You're a leader. Okay. You're a leader and you lead by example. So knowing that not everybody can do that spark and go off and run after it and figure it out as you go, which is great. It's been there, but that's only a survival mechanism. And it doesn't give the best opportunity for the results, the output to reflect the input, the heart and the passion that we're put into it. So you being that leader is living by example. As you mine and meld and move and facet through that, you will be able to mentor, whether it's through your words. They're not showing words at this point because mom is the word. That's why that lower area is not being shown. And this is just appearing on the horizon. But you'll know why you know what you know and how you know it. You don't have to know the full volume because it's already there. The entire library is there. But it's about the critical points, okay? So tell us about these critical points. Tell us about this magic, this township. I heard you. Let's get two more. Did you turn? Oh, they're there. That one goes back. Sorry. Okay. Seeing as we go, my Chiron's in Aries. What you talking about? Okay, so first thing that comes out is all of you. The witness, the testimony, the living that you'll be known for, that example, that leadership, is that you love yourself. That you give yourself to give out of your abundance. Because like they tell you, put the mask on the mother, the oxygen mask, before you put it on the baby. Because you're well equipped, because you're a master of being able to just step in and figure it out as you go. Imagine if you got more information before you took step one. That'll help you to carry it even further and possibly to a full-on completion where the other person learns through the example and the goings and doings through with you. Mentoring through your movement. Ooh. I like it. I like it because all eyes are on you. All eyes are on you. And so then we have tell me your secrets. That's that information coming in is during those 7 days. We'll just call it 7 days for now, okay? That 7 days gives time for the high priestess, for that knowledge of what all you know, that retrieval system, your mind, your Metatron, the full mind, the unconscious, subconscious, and the frontal lobe, to be able to process and communicate as you're beginning to experience, look out, receive new information over the day and the night, the day and the night, the day and the night. It creates a retrieval system for you to be able to go and get the information and pull it back out and work it with any new information. Kind of like you're cooking up recipes in the house for that, what's that potluck you go into? And what's that potluck about? Sweet delight. So you must be making something sweet. You making some cinnamon rolls. You making some bread pudding, some banana pudding. What you making? Huh? Fruit tray? What you making? You doing something, but see, we see the 3 suns there, okay? We see the passage of at least a few days, all right? A lot can happen in just a matter of a few days, so give it the time. Okay, so that's your sun, wanting to step into knowing who you really are, and it's talking about rhythm. It's talking about timing. It's talking about allowing things to have their fullness of time, just like wine. The grape has to grow, the sun has to shine, the rain has to assimilate down into the ground. Then you take it and you tread and you ferment the grapes, and then you bottle it, and then it comes to the table. So it's a little bit by bit process, and they say you'll understand the method to that, and you're like, madness. You'll understand the method to the madness soon enough, but you'll also get to enjoy the wine. You'll get to enjoy the sweet fruits of your labor, and there'll be others at the table, and you're like, I'm all about that, Joy. I'm all about that. And I'm like, I know you are, because your Mars is pointing straight at it, and you're like out here just walking along. You're stirring up the cosmic stars. You're stirring the harvest. You're touching it. You're blessing it. Your mind and your mentality are already here. Fantastic. Okay. So what's coming in to tell us a little bit more about the sun is the bottom of the deck. Okay. So what's underlying this whole thing is the 9 of Cups. You know what you're here for. So to me, this 9 of Cups is very Emperor. Hey, thank y'all for hanging in there with all these interruptions. Once the air is repaired and the microwave is installed and things like that, I'll be able to put on Do Not Disturb while I'm recording these. But hey, life moves on, and I'm here to be with you guys and to let you know, but that's just a little backstory of what's going on there. So anyways, about this 9 of Cups, it's almost like a whole deck in one card. So with that sun, you're going for broke. You're going for the whole thing. And that's what they're telling you is if that's what you're going for, then you need to go for it. And that going doesn't mean, get up and move. You're like, yeah, I'm there. They're like, slow your roll. They're like, go for it. That if that's really it, then you'll do what it requires. Because what it requires is for you to learn and grow this new facet, this new way. Because, when we start out, we're very young in life. We just do it with our full force, with our full energy, and we become really good at it, and we keep doing it. But there comes that pivot point in time, regardless of your age, just whenever that learning begins to stagnate or to stymie or to just be like butting your head against a wall with that hard work of trying to make ends meet. Life wants to do its magic there, and it wants to step in for you, and it's saying, well, then put your whole mind into it, put your whole self into it. Look at this. I mean, it's about no longer letting life play you, but you play in life, being that master of your instrument and working with the cosmic waters. I see these wings coming forth there. So some of you investing a little bit of time in understanding your spirit and your guides, okay, and connecting with that. We could say through meditation, but some of you can be meditating while you're driving to drop your kids off to school or wherever, driving to work or driving to the grocery, or you could just be meditating while you're cleaning, vacuuming, all that. You don't have to be still to meditate. All you have to do is direct your mind to be open to receive, because to me, prayer, meditation, whatever, they're the exact same thing in my mind. But it's both not only speaking, but also making time to receive, to listen, okay? And that's what they're wanting to do to begin to sow into your abundance, is they're wanting to have a more forthright presence, a greater hallmark, almost like a stamp. They're wanting to come in like a stamp, a seal of approval, which is great because, you know, if you win Publishers Clearinghouse, you want that check to be signed, and they're like, we signing it. So you want that name on the dotted line, okay? And that's the energy of life coming in to help facilitate this, because that's what we're made of. We're livers. We're made of life, and we allow the magic to begin to happen from all our experience and where we've come from to enter into this new vibration, this new song, this new life, to have our instrument tuned so that music comes forth and not noise, okay? That's what we're going to find out here. So let's get a divine animal oracle. Okay. This is looking so much like you right here. Talk about the sparkler, the glow, the divine confidence. It's taking, but it's also in the nighttime, that reflection of just allowing it to be, allowing yourself to be this instrument to hear the beautiful song of all the information coming in, instead of just the crack of the whip and you feel the instinct and you go, okay? You see that? You see that? That's what this is like in the dark. You're in the secret vaults, the ancient wisdom. You get access to everything at this point, and you begin to be aware of what all you are picking up on, the extra omens, the signs, the symbols, the guides, the giftings that are working with you, what was hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. What is hidden in plain sight? Not that. So forgive me if I don't know them just by the numbers, but I think this is very much justice hidden in plain sight. It brings in the balance. It brings in almost like the crosshairs, the scope of the sniper, and not to be able to shoot to kill, but to be able to shoot to achieve, to render, to pass through the bullseye, to come out the other side, And that's fantastic, because remember, you're a leader. This is you collectively, and this is you singularly, independently, personally, okay? So I think that's it. Let's see, is anybody else wanting to chat, talk, bring it up? All right, we're going to get one more of these to take it on out, since imagination brought it in. Tell us about Aries and these couple of divine interruptions that occurred. One to bring in the answer. Saying find the magic in the chaos and the conflict. So it's letting us know this is going to be a bit of a challenge for you guys, but it also is beautiful too at the same time. Don't underestimate it with that force, with that Aries, with the horns. I mean, I'm a horn sign too. Don't just butt it and put your head up to it by, force, that type of thing, in order to bring about, that brings about more of that Mars. Remember, have the Venus, have the reflection, have the appreciation, that even in the midst of this transference and this challenge of this new world order coming in, this new way of living your life, and to bring about your ultimate dreams, your dream of dreams, your zenith, that type of energy. Enjoy the sunset. Enjoy the sunrise. Enjoy the flavor of your coffee or tea or whatever you choose to drink, and enjoy, savor the moments. Savor the moments. And that's when all this is going to begin to percolate and assimilate and change and shift that energy for you guys. Hey, I'm excited to check in with you, Aries. Thank you for sharing your life and your love with me. Remember, subscribe if you hadn't already, and leave comments down below. I'd love to know more on a personal basis from you guys about what is going on here. Wishing you the best. I love you.